Wow, here with more eye-opening information is Luis Elizondo. He is a former director of a Pentagon program that has been devoted to the study of UFOs. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
I guess my first question is, are they like in the shape of flying saucers? Like, is that typically what we would see? Is the classic flying saucer image, or they come in different shapes and sizes?
Actually, you're correct. They do come in different shapes and sizes. There are the classic lenticular or saucer shape, but then there are some that look like a Tic Tac, for lack of better description, and yeah, and some even are triangular. It's really rather interesting.
You have a lot of inside knowledge, and that's what this show is all about, people with inside knowledge. I think some people might be surprised to know how much money the government has spent on studying UFOs. So is it definitive then that these exist, that we're not alone, based on what you know?
Well, I have to be cautious. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but I think the first part of your question, do these exist? I think that's been substantiated. They are absolutely real. Now, where are they from, or who's behind the wheel, or we simply don't know. We don't have enough data yet. I know that's unsettling for some people, but the reality is, could this still be a foreign adversarial technology that somehow slipped through, through the radar? Sure, it could be. Could it be something else? Yes, it could be. We don't know, and so I wouldn't want to have any false conclusions until we have more data.
All right, Karen and I were just discussing this. Everybody thinks aliens are coming to get the Earth. Couldn't they be friendly and wanting to come in here and maybe help us and offer some alternatives to maybe medicine or advanced research? Or couldn't they be friendly people or things?
I mean, I'm not qualified to answer that question. Again, that the jumping to the conclusion that we're talking about aliens or extraterrestrial life, that's a conversation I think that probably academics and some people that are more qualified to go into that territory. Keep in mind, my background was simply national security. So if there's something that's coming into our airspace or in and around our sensitive military facilities, typically, if this would be, let's say, a Russian aircraft, you would see us responding by scrambling interceptors. In this particular case, these are things flying around in our airspace and our controlled combat theaters that really do not fall neatly with any type of within any type of category that we would consider aircraft.
Does it happen a lot?
Yeah.
I think it happens. I think you'd be surprised. It happens a lot more than you might think. And I think this program that we have coming out this Friday, Unidentified, goes into that. I think the public will be surprised the frequency this occurs.
You worked for ATIP, is that right? The organization, is that what it's called?
I did, yes, sir. That's correct. Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. It's a bit of a wordy title, but the U.S. government, we like to give long titles to things.
And you resigned, is that right as well?
I did, sir, in 2017.
And what was the reason? Because they weren't believing you? What was the reason?
Well, it's a topic fraught with taboo and stigma, and my loyalty to the Department of Defense and the Secretary has always been priority one. And I served with Secretary Mattis in a combat theater, so I regard him in the utmost highest regard. This is an incredible human being that needs information so he can make informed decisions, and the bureaucracy within the department wasn't allowing me to provide that information. So I resigned knowing that he would get my resignation letter and they wouldn't be able to stop it. By the way, which is no different than Secretary Mattis did almost a year later.
And you're thinking then, as we're going to get to see this on Friday, you can bring more information out for people to see.
I do. I'm hopeful we can finally have a collective discussion without the stigma and taboo and, the little sly giggles and thinking about tinfoil hats. This has the potential to be a national security issue.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate your time and good luck with your further investigations.
Thank you so much for having me.